This is part one of a multi-part video series where I kind of take you along on my journey over about a 3-month period of buying a massive raw basketball card collection, many of which are Jordans, thousands of miles away or over 1,000 miles away. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is just about me and my journey and how I put this thing together and how I hope to secure it and then close it out. I'd love to take you guys along the way with me. This is video number one of how we got to the precipice of making this trip up to the great Northeast United States. So thank you guys for watching. If you watch the Cajun Cardboard channel, I want you to consider using the PWCC Marketplace. It's a great place to buy sports cards, and you can even support the channel through my affiliate link, which is conveniently located in the YouTube description to this very video you're about to watch. Pause the video, get into the YouTube description, look in the top right of the channel, and you're going to see a link to PWCC. Save that link in your browser, and now you are able to buy sports cards on the PWCC Marketplace just like I do, and at the same time support the Cajun Cardboard channel. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and this is, I think it's going to be a 3 or 4 part video series. You guys know I like to do series because I talk for a long time, and when there's about 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 20 hours of content, sometimes I need to break it down into separate segments, and so this is going to be called Buying a Raw Sports Card Collection 101. Basically, I hope this is interesting and enjoyable for you guys, but I'm going to kind of show you guys how I am going to go about buying a massive raw collection about 25 hours away in Connecticut. And I've got about exactly 72 hours. Actually, I got about 68 hours to do so as far as when I land in Connecticut and when I get back. So this first video, I just want to talk about how I came to terms with the seller of this raw sports card collection. I'm going to discuss what's included in the raw card collection. I can't discuss all of it because I'd be guessing. I bet it's 50,000 cards, maybe at least more. Probably more than that. I'm completely guessing. The good news is I'm going to share some spreadsheets. I can't share them all because they are so voluminous, but I'm going to share a couple of them just to give you an idea of what some of the Jordan cards are. There's, I think, right at 1,700, 1,800 raw Michael Jordan cards from the 80s and 90s. And so, yes, it is as sexy and fantastic as it sounds like. The seller in Connecticut, a fantastic gentleman, reached out to me. Now it's been maybe 60 days ago, sort of late summer. I was in the car on my way back from a soccer trip. I got a text first, maybe 7 days before I got the phone call. And I was like, I get these all the time. You know, I've got a channel. People reach out and say, hey, I want to sell all my stuff. Do you want to look at it? I'm like, sure, of course. And, I'm nice. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I said, can you send me some pictures? The gentleman couldn't figure out how to send me pictures. He's an older guy. Wasn't super tech phone savvy, but he was absolutely nice and genuine. And for some reason, I just felt there was legitimacy to it, despite the fact that 99% of the time it's not real. The guy started telling me he has tons of Jordans. The only reason he reached out to me is because he had watched my channel. He's been looking to get out of his collection and liquidate his collection in one lump sum to a buyer for a couple years. And he had been watching my channel, and he said I sounded like I might be a trustworthy person who would shoot him straight. And so that's how we got to get on the phone. I said, hey, look, I can't talk now. I'll call you. He couldn't send pictures, couldn't figure that out. He emailed me a couple pictures, and I was like, these are really big cards. Like, these are very important cards. And then, he sent me like 3 or 4 pictures. And then I was like, well, is there any way you can like put a list together? He's like, I can do better than that. I have 17 spreadsheets of every single card in penny sleeves and top loaders that I can send you. All of them are chronological, by player, by card, by set, by card number, by everything. And so I was like, well, this sounds a little bit too good to be true. Send me the spreadsheets. And so over the course of about 7 days, he gradually emailed me every single spreadsheet. And when I got it, I was like, okay, this is going to be a big deal. This is going to require me to do some movement to come up with the financial means to make this thing happen. This was going to be I knew when I first looked at it, this is going to be a 6-figure deal. And keep in mind, every single card is raw. As far as I know, every single one of these cards is raw, ungraded, and so you've got some other concerns that come to mind. Are they real? What condition are they in? I'm trying to price cards. I've never laid eyes on them. There's no way I can lay eyes on 50,000 cards. And as you guys know, in the Jordan market, in the Kobe market, there's a Kobe spreadsheet, there's a Shaq spreadsheet. A PSA 10 might be worth $5,000, a PSA 7 might be worth $75. Literally, there's that big a disparity sometimes depending on the card and the year and the importance of the card and the grading sensitivity of the card. So there was a lot of things to think through. And ultimately, we spoke on the phone. I did confirm the guy's 100% legitimate. This was 60 days ago. I was like, okay, this is real. This could happen. I said, look, we'll call him Bob because that's his name, but I'm not going to use his last name for privacy reasons because it's not appropriate. But I said, Bob, look, I'm very interested in your collection. I just want you to understand, I'm interested in your collection because I would like to buy it and add it to my collection. Whereas most people would like to get in, buy it, flip it all, and get rid of it. I'm looking to buy it, basically supplement my collection and add to my collection in any areas where I don't have any of these cards, or get them in. My plan is to send all of the relevant cards to PSA, which is probably, I know this is going to sound crazy, it's probably going to end up being over 1,000 cards that I need to send to PSA, which if you guys do some quick math, yeah, we're talking about 25 grand or something like that. Probably 35 grand because some of these cards are going to cost a lot to grade because they're pretty high-end cards. A few of them are super high-end cards. So we're talking tier 1s, we're talking a lot of tier 2s, we're talking tier 3s, and then damn near every tier 4 you can think of. So a lot of potential in this collection. So this was real, and it was starting to hit home, and my wheels started spinning, and I started thinking, how am I going to price this thing? Well, I've got all these spreadsheets, so I am going to estimate I spent maybe 40 hours putting pen to paper. I used Card Ladder, and what I did was I didn't even price PSA 10s because, as you guys know, that's a complete waste of time because A, I would never buy a card assuming it's a 10, and B, I never get 10s from PSA. I don't know about you guys, but my luck with PSA, 10s are a far-fetched dream, especially on important Jordan parallels and inserts from the 90s. So I put a column of PSA 9 approximate value, a column of PSA 8 approximate value, a column of PSA 7 approximate value, and then I took into consideration, I've got to fly up there, so that's a few $1,000. I've got to buy supplies to put all these cards, in card savers. That's expensive. I've got to ship back. I can't bring back 50,000 cards on a plane. I considered paying my 23-year-old son and his buddy to fly up there with me, and then they could rent a car and drive it back, but it was 25 hours, and then I started pricing gas and hotel rooms for both of them and feeding their ass, and it was like, it makes more sense for me to just grab my son, Cajun Jr., so I'm going to bring my 23-year-old son, we're going to fly up there, and we are going, and I've put the itinerary together, the flight's booked, I'll leave, again, you're going to watch this video after I've already come back, but leave on a Friday, wake up in Baton Rouge at 4 in the morning, leave the house at 5:30, fly out of New Orleans at 8, there's a connecting flight through Charlotte, arrive in Hartford, Connecticut, hit the ground, grab a rental SUV. I need an SUV because I need space. We're going to go to Bob's house. We're going to pick up all of the cards that will fit in this SUV. I don't anticipate I can bring all of them. I'm going to take all the cards to the hotel. I'm going to inventory the cards and compare them to the spreadsheets. Bob has assured me that the cards in these boxes appear in exactly the same order that they appear in the spreadsheets. So I'm going to match them up one by one. Well, I can't probably do one by one, but all the important stuff, I'm going to make sure we check all those off. I'm going to inspect them for, condition, make sure there's no mislabeled cards. In other words, make sure, maybe it's listed as a Star Power Supreme, but really it's just a Star Power or a Star Power Plus or something like that. I got to make sure the illuminator's not the luminescent, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go through and do all that as best I can. My son doesn't know enough about cards to do that, so that's on me. Then we are going to transfer all of the cards cards from penny sleeves and top loaders, and he said a couple of them are in one touches or screw downs, which scares me. You guys know screw downs can damage a card and render them ungradable depending on whether it's a recessed screw down and how long they've been in it and what the card is. So I'm a little nervous about that as well. We have agreed upon a general price, and the way I priced it is I went through damn near every single one of these cards in these spreadsheets, and it's 17. I'm going to say he sent me spreadsheets of at least 4,000 cards. 9 spreadsheets of Jordan, about 1,700 Jordan cards, probably 200 Kobe cards, maybe 150 Kevin Garnett's, maybe 200 Shaq's, maybe 150 Ray Allen's, 150 Grant Hill's, 150 Pippin's, 150 Rodman's. I'm trying to think of who else was on these spreadsheets. A lot of these, he had complete sets, and I'm talking insert sets as well. So tons of cards. I went through and did my best to price it. Again, I can't put eyes on these cards, so I can't look at a card and say, I think it'll be a 9, I think it'll be a 5. I've got to guess. And so what I did is I priced them at a fair price point, somewhere between PSA 7 and PSA 8, because they are from the 90s. It's tough. I'm taking a lot of risk on some of these cards because I'm hoping that they, if they price PSA 8, while I may have more value than the price I paid, you have to keep in mind the time, the flight, $25,000 in grading fees. If I decided to sell everything for, let's say, $200,000, that's whatever, $50,000 in taxes or however the hell it works. I don't know. I got to give that to my CPA and let him figure that out. But my intention is not to get all these cards and then sell all these cards. It's to get the cards, get them in hand, go through them, spend weeks meticulously looking through these cards, figure out which cards are grade worthy, sending those cards to PSA, getting those cards back. The ones that I want to keep, boom, they go off to the vault. I'll do a bunch of great content when I get back, showing you the cards that I'm going to send or maybe not send and what I'm hoping to grade and all that stuff. And I might even guess on grades, although that's usually a fruitless endeavor because I look stupid. Most people can't even come close to guessing what PSA is going to do with their grades. But then I'll get those cards. The cards I want to keep, boom, off to PWCC. I keep them in my vault. I add it to my collection. I've taken a step forward as a Jordan collector. I'm a collector first, and I'm an investor second. Any cards that I get back that are duplicates, the lower grade will probably be for sale. I may sell it through PWCC Weekly. I may sell it through the PWCC Premier, depending on the size of the card. I will use the promo code Cajun because I'm allowed to. I just can't buy with my affiliate link, but I can sell with my Cajun promo code. So that's a nice perk of having that promo code Cajun, C-A-J-U-N, all caps, when you sell on the PWCC platform, Weekly or Premier. So I'll move those cards that are duplicates and in lower grade, and some of them I will keep, but most of them I'll move, and I will try to recoup my investment. Like I said, you're talking about a 6-figure investment and then some. So it's a huge task. It's a huge undertaking. Let me switch you over and show you a couple pictures and just kind of give you an idea of how I'm prepping for this trip. I've got to be incredibly efficient because I arrive there probably in the afternoon on Friday at his house, maybe 4 to 5 p.m., and I've got to get back on a plane at 8 p.m. At the Hartford airport, okay? So I do not have a lot of time while I'm there. I've got to be real efficient. Essentially, I'm going to set up a lab in the hotel room, get as much help as I can out of Cajun Jr., who doesn't know a damn thing about cards, but he should be able to delicately take some cards from top loaders and then take those cards, place them in fresh new penny sleeves, put them in card savers. The reason I'm moving them from top loaders to card savers is because, like you can see in this picture right here that I'm sharing now, this is just an example of one Zion case. I've got 6 Zion cases, and they are all stuffed with, as you can see over there on the left of the picture here, is a bunch of Ultra Pro card savers. So I am going to jam the card savers in there because they weigh significantly less than the top loaders, and I should be able to get maybe 2,000 cards back on the plane. Cajun Jr. is going to have 2 carry-ons. I'm going to have 2 carry-ons, and we've got about 6 Zion cases stuffed into those carry-ons. A couple of them are rolling luggage, and then we're each going to put one of these small 2-row Zion cases in our backpack that we're bringing on the plane. So I'm going to bring back maybe 2,500 cards, let's say, maybe 2,000 cards. I've got a lot of card savers and a lot of penny sleeves, so I'm ready. I'm going to bring back the most valuable stuff, certainly all the valuable Jordan stuff. I did some math. In the collection, there were 101 cards that I itemized as me paying over $100 in value, and then there were 345 Michael Jordan cards where my offer price for the particular card was more than $10. So there's a lot of cards that matter in there. And look, some of those cards where I'm offering $12, if they come back a PSA 8, it's worth $24, and I lose money. If it comes back a PSA 9, it's worth $40, and I break even. If it comes back a PSA 10, it might be $180, and I've now 4x my money. So there's just no perfect science to this, but I'll show you the spreadsheet in just a second. So my plan is to go up there, everything I can fit on my carry-ons, do that first. Everything that I can't fit, I've got to get to the FedEx store because it closes on Saturday at 6 p.m. So I'm going to pack, I'm going to buy the boxes there, I'm going to buy the foam peanuts there, I'm going to buy the bubble wrap there, I'm going to pre-purchase some FedEx labels, and I'm going to put together as many boxes to ship back to Baton Rouge, Louisiana as I possibly can. I don't know any other way to do it. Like I said, driving a car back 25 hours was it just seemed nonsensical. It wasn't the right plan. It would have been a lot easier on me and my anxiety, because then all I would have had to worry about is what I'm putting in these Zion cases. But the real test here is going to be shipping maybe 8 to 10 big ass heavy boxes. It's going to cost thousands for sure to ship back. I do think it's going to be worth it in the long run, but it is a cost, and it is part of the overhead, and it's part of the initial cash outlay. So like I said, it's a big investment. It's a big journey. What other pictures do I have here for you? This is where I bought I just want to give a shout out to one of my local card shop owners. Jerry is his name. He owns this card shop, AJ's Sports Cards, right here on Drusilla Lane in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There's his contact info on his door if you want to look him up. But AJ's Sports Cards here in Baton Rouge is where I picked up the Zion cases. And then he hooked me up with about 800 additional card savers. I think I have about 2,000 card savers empty in these. There they go. So there's a picture of all of the Zion cases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 5 of those, but I think this one right here, which I took a picture of because it's a really cool one, right? There's a really cool, it's not really a Zion case because I got that little specialized Jordan cover on the front of it. So that's where the big boys are going to go. That is where the cards with the big potential are going to go, and it's a 3-row. The rest of these are, well, this is another 3-row here, and then the rest of these are 2 rows. But if you kind of look at each one of these rows, that's about 800. Wait, hold on. Did I say that right? That's about 200. That's about 200 there. So card savers. So 200, 500, 700. 200, 500, 700, 900, maybe 1,200, 1,400, 1,600, maybe 1,700, 1,800, like that. So I think when I put cards in them, obviously they're going to expand a little bit. You're not going to be able to fit them as tightly as that. So I'm guessing here. I'm not freaking, a genius, but I think I can get about 1,600, 1,700, 1,800 cards in these Zion cases that I know those are my babies. Those are the cards that I think have the most value. I will be able to bring those back safe and sound in my rolling luggage. I've got 2 pieces of big rolling luggage to put those cases in, and then I've got 2 backpacks that me and Cajun can work through as well. We got to pack light because there's not going to be a lot of room left in our bags because I ain't checking bags. I'm not taking any chances with that for sure. Hopefully I have no issues at the airport when they open these things up. They're just going to see a lot of basketball cards, but that's the plan to get the big stuff back. The rest of the stuff, I've got to be very, very efficient to ship that stuff back, pack it, peanuts. I don't want it to get damaged. Some of that stuff's really important. Like he's going to have an 86 Fleer raw set that I'm buying. I'll pull the Jordans, I'll pull the Hall of Famers. Those are going to come back in these, card savers that you see on these Zion cases, but the rest of that set matters, man. If you got a freaking, you may have a Jeff Malone in there that looks like a 9 or a 10. I mean, I've got to pack, maybe I'll put the Jeff Malone in here, but 100 commons from 1986 Fleer, those have got to go, very safely in the FedEx box with the foam peanuts and the bubble wrap and whatnot, and I've got to secure them so they don't move. So I'm a little bit nervous about that because I know stuff gets damaged in shipping, and God forbid it disappears in shipping. But anyway, that's it. That's what I plan to do. That's kind of the general plan. This is part 1 of the video. Let me just show you an example of some of the stuff that's in here, and I assure you it's legit. Now, some of these cards are worth not even $1. But then every once in a while, you'll stumble on a damn monster. And so, just kind of starting from the beginning, this is what one of his spreadsheets look like. And so you can see over here in these columns, I, priced it as best I could as a PSA 8, as best I could as a 9 on average. And then I came up with an offer price that was probably somewhere between a 7 and an 8, to where an 8's a little bit better than break even to cover me for my taxes if I did need to flip it, and then all the expenses that go into this, flying up there, hotels, food, all that other stuff, all the supplies. I mean, shit, I bought 2,000 card savers, for God's sakes. I bought $400 worth of Zion cases. I don't use Zion cases, but there was no other way to do this and keep them nice and safe and snug. So I spent $500 on Zion cases. I'm guessing the FedEx shipping back is probably going to be in the thousands. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'm not an expert. But I'm guessing when I take a bunch of cards and top loaders and then pack them in these gigantic boxes, it's going to weigh hundreds of pounds. Maybe not each one, but just if you add it all up, and if I send 8 to 10 boxes back via FedEx, it's going to be a challenge for sure. But anyway, looking at the spreadsheet, so you can see, look right away, this is the only 2 graded cards that were in any of the spreadsheets. It looks like it's an 86 Fleer Jordan sticker graded 6.5, and then a 1988 Fleer Jordan graded an 8, which is not a very valuable card. There is an 86 Fleer complete sticker set, okay? So that's 11 raw stickers. I've got on here, does that mean there's a Jordan sticker here graded 6.5 and another one raw inside the sticker set? And he confirmed, yes, that is the case. And so I will obviously inspect those 86 Fleer stickers very closely, because the difference between a PSA 6 Adrian Dantley and a PSA 9 or 10 Adrian Dantley is massive. And the same can be said certainly for the Kareem sticker and things like that. And then you're going to have some weird stuff, right? You'll see the Wheaties. I don't even know what Starline means. It's a 5x7 card. It's not Star. He said he did not have any Star brand cards. But Wheaties whole grain, the Cleo Valentines, 4 cards, 10 sets. He's got 10 sets of that. Randomly in 1991, Scottie Pippen NBA hoops worth almost nothing. And so some of these, I offered, 5 cents on, or I really honestly didn't put a value on some of these. A lot of these I put $1 on. Like there's a couple of Pippins in here. I'm not sure why. These are the Jordan spreadsheets, but like moving down. Frequent flyer. If it's a PSA 10, that's great. If it's a PSA 8, it's worth $12 or something like that. A Gatorade card, an Omni phone card, a Jersey retirement card. He tried to kind of highlight the ones that he thought might be worth something, and he's probably right. This is the 94 gold signature number 240, bigger card there. He's got the rare air card in here. I'm trying to find some more decent cards. A 95 Flair hardwood leader, and then we get into some stuff that matters. A couple of slick silvers raw in here, so who knows what they grade. Hopefully they haven't yellowed. That's the common issue with that. A maximum metal die cut from 95 metal, the Fleer metal base card. I think that's the metal shredders right there. I'm not really certain about that, but I think it is. You got a Fleer Total D, but that's the 1995 version. You got a couple double troubles. Then you got a couple of gold medallions, for God's sakes. And if we keep going down, you got a couple of hobby standouts. You guys know how expensive that card is if it's a PSA 10. Again, I'm not expecting a 10 on anything. 9s are home runs. 10s are, I'm not even going to talk about it. 9s are home runs. A PSA 8 is a double on a lot of these cards. A PSA 7, I'm lucky to break even, and that's just the way I had to price it, so there is a great deal of risk involved as well. You'll see a Skybox Premium Larger Than Life, which is a decent card right there. Topps Finest Base, Topps Finest M1 Orange, Topps Finest M1 Borderless, Topps Finest Hot Stuff. You've got 2 Power Boosters, the number 1 and the number 4. You got 2 Showstoppers that you guys have seen on the Michael Jordan Hierarchy Project now. 2 Raw Warp Speeds. You got the Joe Dumars Nemesis card. I mean, I'm going, and then you're going to go through a bunch of Upper Deck Collector's Choice stuff. It's worth almost nothing, right? But then you come right back to the Jordan blue baseball card or whatever. I don't know anything about the baseball cards. Those weren't really worth that much. Upper Deck 23 karat set, the Jordan Predictor set, the whole set H1 through 5, the whole set R1 through 5. A couple of electric court Jordans from 95 Upper Deck. Those are cool. If they grade well, that's great, right? I'm not counting on good grades from those. Another Upper Deck electric court. We've got our first atomic refractor. So our first relatively important card, right? It's the 1996 Bowman's Best atomic refractor number 80. That's a big card, right? We just saw it on the PWCC Weekly. We saw what the PWCC, what the PSA 10 did not too long ago, where it sold for, I think, $26,000. You've got a night, again, the PSA 10 is a pie in the sky. So it sounds like, there's all this value here, but I've got to think these cards are going to grade PSA 7 and 8 because of the thousands of Jordan cards that I have sent in from the 90s. That's the grades that I get, 6, 7, 8s. Again, am I hoping for better luck? Yeah, absolutely, I'm hoping for better luck. But Fleer Flare, here's an anticipation. I don't know what that lithograph is. We got a hollow view from 1996. What else is in here that's cool? Here's one, a Star Rubies. This is the Team Skybox Star Rubies. So you're talking about, a tier 1 card that's serial number to 50. It's card number 11 out of 50. I did demand pictures. I didn't have to demand it. I asked, said, look, this is a big card. If this card is fake, which some Rubies are, I'm going to get stuck holding the bag. This is a big ass card. This is many tens of thousands of dollars in raw condition that I'm paying him. And so, if it comes back and it's inauthentic and PSA won't grade it, I'm getting crushed. So I needed pictures of this. I sent it to the powers that be, the guys that I consider the oracles and the gurus in the hobby, the Josh Dawsons, the Chris McGills, the Frankie, Frankie Gonzalez looked at it, and Stanley Siratinsky looked at it. I had some of those guys take a look at it, and they all said it looked fantastic. Philip Goss, a couple of other guys like that really know their stuff. Here's a cool Thunder and Lightning Pippin, the card where the Jordan fits inside the Pippin. A Topps Chrome base. Then what do we have? We have NBA game film, hollow view, ultra. I think this is the exclamation points card because it says with case, which means it's actually in the exclamation points sleeve. So fingers crossed that can actually get graded and grade okay. 2 for me, 0 for you. That's a big card, man. Hardwood Honor's a big card, and 98 Finest Refractor's a big card. Moving along, showcase. Take it to .net. I mean, how cool is that? Serial numbered 383 out of 1,000. 2 more 98 Ultra Gold Medallion 85G. You guys know that card and what it looks like. Metal Universe Championship Galaxy, people. Okay. We got a stat liners. Where'd the stat liners go? Here's a stat liners card right there. We've got 2 Topps Gold Label base cards for Jordan. We got the Legacies, Century Legends, Bryant and Jordan, Kobe and Jordan. Upper Deck, I don't know what that is. We got the Dynamics card. A lot of the 99 stuff, the Jam Time, the Dynamics. We've got a Upper Deck MVP Gold Script and serial number to 100 from 1999, Jordan. We've got an MJ UNC floor card right here. That's one spreadsheet. So up tier to line 273, that's one spreadsheet. He sent me 9 of these, okay, just to give you guys some idea. That is one spreadsheet. I've got 9 of these, all Jordan. And so I'm just going to show you one more spreadsheet real quick just to give you an idea of some of the stuff. Like I said, 90% of the cards that you're seeing on here, I've got to put these in a box and ship them back via FedEx. I can't fit all these Jordan cards on the plane with me. I can only bring the best of the best. And so that's going to take some time and some doing. There's not going to be a lot of sleep involved. I'm anxious. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm hopeful. I can't wait to meet Bob because he's been such a nice guy. We've gone back and forth on the phone and by text and by email many, many times over the past 90 days. And I feel like I know the guy. I can't wait to meet him and shake his hand and give him a half hug handshake because he's been super courteous. He offered to make us dinner when we get in Friday night. I said, no, we'll get some chicken nuggets or something on the way up there. But we've got to hit the ground running when I get up there. There's not going to be a ton of time for small talk with me and Bob, although I'd really like to get to know him better because I feel like I do know him over the past 90 days. We've got a platinum, I think this is a 96 Ultra Platinum Medallion. We've got Give and Take, a Predictor, Space Jam sticker, Honor Roll, Hot Properties. I don't know what that is. It's a collector's choice. Look at these Flair Showcase base cards. Section, it's row 1, row 1, row 3, row 3, row 3, row 3, row 2. We've got a 97 Fleer Tiffany. We got the Total O. We got Soaring Stars. We got another gold medallion from 97. We got the Big Shots. We got Court Masters. We've got an Ultra Stars. Not an Ultra Stars gold, unfortunately, but an Ultra Stars. The Court Masters is a big-ass card. 1997 Ultra Court Masters. We know that's a big card. Frequent Flyer. Hooper Stars. We got an All Millennium. Gravity Denied. We got the Skybox EX 2001 base card. We got the Net Assets. We've got the Net Sets. We've got Premium Player. We've got the other Thunder and Lightning that glows in the dark. We've got the Rave Review. These are huge cards. Do you guys see what I'm seeing? These are really big cards. We got the Super Boss. We got the Never Compromise. We got the Triumvirate. That's Dennis Rodman, by the way. That's the Triumvirate Luminescent. getting into the 97 Topps Finest, and you can see how organized Bob was and how important this was. There's no way in the world I could have flown up there, got to his house with no list, and priced this. It would have taken, well, I'm telling you, I probably spent 25 hours just pricing these cards, because I had to price them 9s, 8s, and then come to terms on exactly what I'm going to offer between 7 and 8, and make educated choices. And then I had a million questions for Bob, like, is this a refractor? Is it not the refractor? You listed this, but is it this? And Bob knows his cards. He doesn't know everything about these cards, but he did a really good job of describing the cards to where it was intelligible and I could get through this. Just tons and tons more cards. Crunch Time, minted in Springfield. You guys know that one. Look at all these SPX die cuts: silver, black, red, blue, bronze, gold, starstruck, another atomic refractor. It's the Jordan Mercer mirror image refractor, MI1. The Best Techniques T2 from Bowman's Best. Best Performance from Bowman's Best. They got a Star Quest. It's not, plus factor. Vintage 61, not the classic, but the Vintage 61. You got the Electrifying. You got View to a Thrill, Star Power Plus, Rock the House, Pump Up the Jam. That's actually, I think, supposed to be shout outs. Those are shout outs from 98. Not super valuable, but in a 10, they're pretty cool. Skybox Base, Competitive Advantage, for God's sakes. I mean, you're talking about tons and tons of tier 2 and tier 3 cards. You can start checking off the boxes. This is a huge step forward for my collection, and a lot of these cards that are duplicates I will make for sale one way or another to put them back out into the Jordan world. I don't plan to hoard a bunch of this stuff because I need to pay back as much of the money as I can that I've invested in them. So it's just going to take some time to turn these over, the duplicates I'm referring to, because, I've got to get back here. I've got to organize these. I've got to prep them. I've got to put them all together. I think I'm going to have to get on an airplane and fly to California. I don't, comment below if there's a way that you guys can think of where, I can ship these insured. I could buy a collectibles insurance policy to cover me up to, I think, $75,000 for shipments that have a tracking number. I had a collectibles insurance policy with CIS, Sports Cards Policy specifically, which covered cards to and from me as long as there was a tracking number. I might have to initiate another one and get another one, which is going to cost me another couple $1,000 to insure my collection. The triumvirates, you got the T9B, T9B, and T9B. And one of these, I think, is the, let me widen this, is the luminescent. He thinks it's the luminous, I'm sorry. Again, when I get up there, we're going to look a little bit closer at these three to determine if it's the luminous, luminescent, or illuminator. Clutch Time, apparitions, the Topps 40 refractor, the 1998 refractor. That's Round Ball Royalty. The Round Ball Royalty base along with it. Hard court, upper deck hard court. Whew, it's a lot, guys. That's just giving you some idea of some of the stuff. That's 2 spreadsheets out of 9 Jordan spreadsheets. And then there's another spreadsheet with starting lineup figures, all starting lineup figures, not just Jordans, but every Jordan. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with those. You guys know I don't collect action figures. I collect cards. As I once infamously said on this channel, I don't collect dolls. I collect sports cards. So I might do what I did last time, which is... I don't know. Let me know what you would do with a bunch of starting lineup action figures with the card inside there. And then, part of it's going to hinge on what condition the card looks like. I don't know what I'm going to do with those, but those have to be shipped. I can't bring those things back on the plane with me. There's just no space for it because those ion cases are going to take up all the space. And so there's a lot of different kind of dynamics here to figure out how I can get everything I need into my possession to carry on back, but then also get all this stuff out the door because the FedEx closes at 6 p.m. on Saturday. If I do have all day Sunday to put stuff together, I don't have to be at the airport until like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. No, I got to be there at 5:30 to drop the rental car off. So Sunday, I should have all of my Zion cases packed, right? Everything that I know I'm bringing back on the plane, those should be in Zion cases. I should have already dropped at least 3 or 4 big boxes at the FedEx place to ship back. They close Saturday at 6 p.m. So Sunday, everything I have left, my goal is to prep it all, get it all in shippable boxes, everything I can, everything that I want shipped. And then I'm probably going to have to, and I've reached out to Bob about this. Hey man, I might need you to help deliver some of this to FedEx on Monday because Sunday is out, right? My son and I are going to wake up. We're going to go to Mass early Sunday morning. We're going to grab some breakfast. We're going straight back to Bob's house. We're going to get all the boxes in the hotel. We're going to pack and ship for about 5 straight hours, and then we're going to drop them back at Bob's house and then head to the airport, and then hopefully Bob can hook us up. I trust him. I've got to the point where I do trust him, and I know you shouldn't trust anybody in the hobby, but I'll tell you right now, I do. And life is short if you don't take a few chances. So I'm going to trust Bob to ship that stuff to me on Monday for maybe a Wednesday or Thursday delivery. God knows I'm going to have enough stuff to do here at the office when I get back anyway. So that's kind of my plan. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's just me talking about my personal journey and my logistics. This has been a long time coming. I'm filming this video on Tuesday. I fly out on Friday. So over the next 2 days, I've created a little written itinerary to take some of the guesswork out of it. I should arrive at a certain time. I should have to leave at a certain time. I have apportioned a certain amount of time each day to do a certain task. But the real tricky part is FedEx ain't open on Sunday. So I've got to be really efficient on Saturday. And I'm just excited to get up here and see some of these great cards and put them in penny sleeves and card savers, and then close the door on those Zion cases and get these babies back to Baton Rouge and get over here off screen to my right to where I can start. Some of these cards need to be clean, some of them don't, but get these things off the PSA one way or another. Like I said, I might have to get on an airplane and do all of this over again, where I fly out there with 2 or 3 Zion cases with the bigger stuff. There's maybe 100 cards that I would fly out to PSA and pay a premium for. The rest of these can go value. I mean, they're not humongous cards. I can send these cards in a couple of different shipments to PSA. FedEx, I think, insures up to 15 grand. So it's not that big a deal, but, obviously a rubies, a platinum medallion, maybe a luminescent, there's a couple of tier 2 cards that I'd really honestly like to just keep in my possession and hand to somebody at PSA, and then, chill in a hotel for a couple days and get those graded, even if I have to pay a little bit extra, and then maybe fly back. I've never been to California. I've never been to a foreign country, which California is. No, I'm just kidding, sort of. But I'm actually looking forward to flying out to California because I don't know how close PSA is, but I've got a really good friend who lives out there. So maybe I could go chill at his house, drop the stuff off at PSA on a Friday, go chill and spend the weekend with him and his family, come back and pick it up maybe Monday morning at PSA if they're done. I don't know, maybe I'd have to pick it up Tuesday morning or something like that, then fly back with those babies. The rest of the stuff can be shipped, business as usual. So hopefully I'll have some great content coming for you guys. This was video number 1, just telling you where I am and how I got here 2 days before, and who Bob is and what this plan is. I am not going to talk in detail about dollars and cents out of respect for him and because I'm going to bring you along on this journey. It ain't about the numbers and the flipping and this and then that. This is about how excited I am to supplement my collection. And so, and upgrade, I say supplement, fill in gaps of cards that I don't have that are in the Michael Jordan Hierarchy Project poster that so many of you guys have. That's my goal. I'm going to try to put the pyramid together. That's a lifelong journey that I'm never going to fulfill, namely because there's a couple of cards on there that I will never own because they're 7-figure cards, but there's many 6-figure cards I won't own either. But this should fill in a bunch of the voids, and I'll be able to put some nice little X marks on my poster, and then some of them I'll be able to upgrade the grade. And so if I have a PSA 9 or BGS 9, and maybe I'm lucky enough to get a PSA 10, or maybe I have a PSA 8 and I'm lucky enough to get a PSA 9, now I've upgraded, right? And I can let the lower ones go and then recoup some of this big cost that I've got to outlay. So it is a risk. I do hope that when I get up there, the cards are in great condition. You'll know more when you watch video 2. I'm guessing I'm going to kind of release these videos 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 2 or 3 days in a row, 3 or 4 days in a row, depending on how many I do. But this was video number 1, just getting you to the point where we're on the cusp. I'm getting anxious. I'm getting nervous. We're about to jump on a plane and head up to Connecticut, which I've never been anywhere in the Northeast, really. Philadelphia, I guess, is the farthest Northeast that I've ever been. I guess that's Northeast. Everything's Northeast from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But that's the plan. So comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys will be excited about video number 2. Video number 2 should be, again, I'm not going to be able to film it till I get back, but my plan is to take tons of pictures of everything along the way. A picture at the New Orleans airport. I'll get you a picture of Cajun Jr. I'll get you a picture of the bags when they're packed. I'll get you a picture, of I'm not going to take a picture of Bob's house, but I'm going to take a picture of all the cards in the hotel room and all of the supplies that I brought up there and our plan and what's going on. Kind of get you a picture of all the boxes that I'm shipping back. I don't know if that sounds fun or not, but just kind of give you a little, not minute by minute, but maybe, segment by segment, idea, graphical illustration of what the hell I'm doing up there. And then when we get back, I'll have plenty of pictures and videos of all of these raw cards. When I open up that Zion case, there should be some serious heat in there, as you saw from these two spreadsheets that we looked at today. Keeping in mind, there's, I think I got a total of 25 spreadsheets from Bob. So 9 of them were Jordan, but there was a lot of other big ones. Magic Johnson, Bird, Magic, is a lot. And so we'll see what's up there. And hopefully I'll come back with a nice haul here with tons of work to do. You're not going to see a lot of mail days from me because this is a humongous expenditure. And I had to make some things happen to come up with these funds. And so you're not going to see too many mail days from me. You guys know me. I got at least 1 or 2 mail days every weekend. It's not going to be that way. This is going to be the mail day to end all mail days for me. And it's going to take a few weeks to turn these things around with PSA. So sorry about that. My weekends will be open. And my content might not be quite as consistent and voluminous as normal. So bear with me while I get through this. I think it's going to be a good thing in the long run. And again, the channel, it's important to me that I continue to do this. I'll keep getting you all the PWCC updates and the PWCC Premier, auction updates as well. And there'll be some content, but I might not be going 7 days a week for you guys for the fourth quarter of 2023 while I try to put this thing together and make sense out of all of it and see what's up. But there's going to be a lot of good PSA reveal videos coming at the end of this. I promise you that. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And Nat Turner will be gentle when he kicks me in the nuts. Maybe he'll just kick me gently in the nuts instead of the swift kick that I normally get, swift and firm. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.